Hey y'all, welcome back to Byrne Homemade. Today we're getting into the holiday spirit as I share some of our cherished Christmas traditions. We're starting off with a rich and creamy Crock Pot Hot Chocolate, Santa's favorite cookies, and a warm and comforting homemade chicken pot pie. So tie on your apron and let's get to some good old Christmas cooking, y'all. Hey y'all, I'm Ashton and welcome to my channel, Byrne Homemade. Step into my kitchen while I cook up some delicious down-home country recipes. I believe in using simple, fresh ingredients to create dishes from scratch that bring a taste of home to your table. Though I'm not shy to share a shortcut from time to time. So grab your apron and join me for some good old-fashioned cooking like Grandma used to do. So I've been doing this for a few years now. It's like a viral TikTok or Pinterest Crock Pot Hot Chocolate. You're going to take 1 can of sweetened condensed milk and pour it into a crock pot. Then I always measure vanilla with my heart, so I'm going to add some of that. I also measure cocoa powder with my heart most of the time, but I think I added probably 1/3 to 1/4 of a cup. Do whatever you decide on that. It doesn't really matter. I would do at least 1/4 though. And then I added a nice brand of semi-sweet chocolate chips, a whole bag. Then you're going to add 4 cups of whole milk, and I added 2 cups of heavy cream. Then you're going to just stir that together so you can get all of this stuff on the bottom mixed well so it doesn't sit there and burn. And you're going to cook it on high for about 1.5 hours to 2 hours, and you want to stir this occasionally. The lighting changed because it was dark. As you know, it gets dark about 5 o'clock now, so it is dark when I'm serving this up, and you just pour it in a cup and put some whipped cream. You can do homemade whipped cream. We do the canned whipped cream and some cinnamon on top. And you got a really good little mug of the best hot chocolate, honestly. It is the best. So every year I change the cookies up. This year I decided to go with Cooking with Carly's Crumble Copycat Red Velvet White Chip Cookies, and they are so good, and I thought they are the perfect Christmas theme, obviously. I'm going to start with 3 sticks of butter softened. Then you're going to add in 1/2 cup of granulated sugar and 1.5 cups of brown sugar. And I mix this in my KitchenAid on a medium speed for 7 minutes to get it really, really incorporated. I used to bake sugar cookies and cinnamon rolls and sell them, and I always scraped the sides to make sure that I got all the ingredients really well mixed together. Then I'm going to add in 2 eggs, and it calls for 1.5 tablespoons of vanilla, or 1.5 tablespoons of vanilla. But like I said in the beginning, I measure with my heart, and that was about a tablespoon and a half, but I just pour it in, count to 1,001. Next, you're going to add your dry ingredients, and that is 4 cups of all-purpose flour, a half a cup of cocoa powder, and 2 teaspoons of baking soda. Baking soda. And you can add 1 teaspoon of salt as well, but I use salted butter, so I don't do that. Then you're going to want to mix this until well combined. I am adding a gel food coloring here, just red, and I probably put about half a teaspoon in there. Gel food coloring is very strong, so it doesn't take too much. Now you can see it's that pretty Christmas red color, red velvet, and then I'm going to put 2 cups of white chocolate chips in and mix that until combined. I take an ice cream scoop and I scrape it even on the side, and then I put 1 down, and then I'm going to do it again and plop it on the top of that one. And then I kind of smush it down with my hand because I feel like this gives you a really thick cookie and more resembles crumble like they do theirs. And I think this made about 9 cookies, maybe 10. I can't remember. Let me see. Okay, 2, 4, 3, 6, 9. Yeah, it made 9 cookies. So I'm going to freeze them for about 20 minutes, and you can see I didn't get it mixed all the way on some, but that's okay. These are going to go to my neighbors and Santa, of course. So I just put them on a sheet, kind of spread them apart, and you put them on parchment paper, and I cook them at 350 for about 18 to 20 minutes, and here is how they turned out. These are very good moist cookies. I'll leave the recipe in the description box below. And yeah, it is very good. I highly recommend y'all look up Cooking with Carly because she really does make the best cookies. And finally, last but not least, this is my homemade chicken pot pie. It's kind of like a mixture of recipes that I've put together, but I'm going to chop up some onion and carrot and celery. I didn't show that. I'm so sorry. I'm going to put them into a stock pot or just a Dutch oven, and then I'm going to add the gizzards and neck from the chicken, and I'm going to cook my whole chicken in there until it's tender. And I do this on low for probably an hour and a half to 2 hours just to make sure it simmers really well. And I'm going to put some house seasoning on there, and I'll leave that linked above. I'm then adding some garlic cloves, and I put some rosemary and thyme. You can really add whatever you would like to in here. This is just stuff I had. The rosemary was going old, so I thought I'll just shove it all in there. And then thyme is really good in chicken stock. Here I'm preparing the crust, and I'm cutting up 2 sticks of salted butter that I am going to cube up and freeze for at least 20 minutes so they can get nice and hard. I'm measuring out 2 and about 1/4 cups of all-purpose flour. I use about a teaspoon of sugar, and then I get probably 2 teaspoons of salt, or a tablespoon. Yeah, I did a tablespoon. Sometimes I do it different. I kind of measure with my heart on this stuff, like I said. And then I get 1/2 cup of cold water, with ice in it, and I pour in a tablespoon of red wine vinegar because it makes it taste delicious. And then I'm going to take my flour, put it in a food processor, the salt and sugar, and I'm going to add my butter in slowly so I can get it to coarse crumbs. And I lost my top to my food processor, so you're going to see a lot of flour just flying around. And that green stuff on the butter is thyme and rosemary. I put some on there. I'm also going to add some additional here in just a little bit, just to make a little bigger pieces and it's not so chopped up. Here, I definitely made a boo-boo. I found the top to my food processor and I poured the liquid in it because I forgot to take it off. But I'm doing it right now, and you slowly pour this in as you're pulsing it, and it will come to like kind of like a moon sand consistency. And you'll pick it up and you'll like clump it, and once it starts clumping in your hand, like stays together, then you know it's ready for you to mold into discs so you can make them cold. Now, you don't want to work these too much because it is pie crust. It will make it tough. So you just get it combined, and then I cut it in half in a log formation. I cut it in half, and then I put each disc that I rounded out into a plastic bag, and I put it in the fridge to chill for at least 30 minutes before I roll it out. Here, I'm gonna start the pie filling. I put mostly a stick of butter, probably 3/4 a stick of butter into my pan. I'm adding celery, onion, and carrots that I chopped up, and I'm gonna saute those until they are nice and translucent. I put garlic in here as well, I believe, but I did not show that. I'm so sorry. There is the chicken that I cooked earlier. I shredded it up, and I used the chicken that I boiled, obviously. Let it cool, shred it up, and I'm adding it into my pan, and then I'm gonna put about 1/3 to a 1/2 cup of flour. I'm adding some wine. I put 1/4 a cup of wine in there. I used sherry that I had, sherry cooking wine. You could get a better wine, I think like Pinot Grigio. I don't know what it's called. I'm not a wine person. I'm not going to lie to you. I think that goes well with chicken. Then I'm adding about 1.5 cups of heavy cream. And I made chicken stock, but I actually used it for something else. So I put in like a tablespoon of chicken base in here. And then I'm going to add about 1.5 cups to 2 cups of water. So that will make basically some chicken stock for me. Then I mix it around until it looks good, and I'm going to add about 1.5 teaspoons to 2 teaspoons of house seasoning in here, and I'm going to put some poultry seasoning as well. I love peas in my chicken pot pie, so I'll put about 1 cup of frozen peas when I thought it was almost done getting thick, just to let them warm up. I'll let that mixture simmer for probably 10 minutes to get it all thickened up and incorporated. Here, I'm just going to beat out my pie dough and put it on a tinfoil pie pan because I'm not fancy. And this is a very rustic pie dough, as you could say. You want to flour and spray your pan as well, or your pie crust will stick so bad. But I do double crust on my chicken pot pie. That's what we like, so that's what I do. And I'm just gonna, like I said, crimp it around, make it super rustic. I don't do much pretty on it. To make it an obvious chicken pot pie though, I take my little chicken cookie cutter that I think is adorable, and this is how I make it pretty. I just cut that out to be my vent, and I will show you how I place it on top here in just a second. Pour your filling into your pie shell. Oh my God. Sorry, my baby was laughing at my husband and I thought that was so cute. So I crimp along the sides and kind of get them to stick together. And then I'm going to lay that chicken piece cut out kind of a little over top so I'll have a vent. It makes it stay pretty and makes it ventilated. I'm going to cut out little chicken feet, which I didn't do that great this time, honestly. But you just kind of cut in the shape of a chicken foot for more venting, because there's a lot of filling in here and it's going to spill over. Then I took a fork and just kind of crimped the edges down. Like I said, I didn't make this super pretty or nothing like that. It's just, I mean, it was delicious. We ate it, and I think it looks so homemade like this, so it don't have to be perfect for me. I'm going to take an egg, mix it together, basically, and then egg wash the top of my pie so it'll get nice and brown. I'll put this in a 350 oven for about 45 minutes to an hour on the middle rack. If the top's getting too brown, you just cover it up. And there's our Christmas traditions. I hope you enjoyed this video. I'll see you in the next one. Bye-bye.
Please like and subscribe. Happy Merry Christmas. Bye-bye.